Darlings. Tonight's request is from YouTube user Turklarisha, who says, please react to Megurine Luka's Just Be Friends live. So I have the video queued up, and we're just going to dive right into this. It seems to be some sort of big concert. Oh no. Is this another one of those computer-generated holographic singers? You know, in these, I can't tell. You know, it says it's live, but it looks like this is all made on a computer, but there's also look like they're real people in the audience. So I read a little bit about the Miku video after I watched the Miku video, and it's all computer generated, and I have to say, well, there's a real man playing the drums for this hologram. I'm not really sure how I'm watching it the way I'm watching this. I'm not sure how this works. I'm sort of I'm just sort of in shock by the quality of the technology these days. I really just can't sort of wrap my head around it. But for being entirely computer generated, this is A, rather well done and on key, and two, really catchy. Clearly they have some, not just really high-level computer techs working on all of this, because, you know, it really does look like someone dancing. Like, the motions are very realistic, but to be able to make computer-generated noises sound so much like a human voice, and it does sound a little bit electronic, but it sounds just sort of like auto-tuned, like someone just auto-tuned someone singing. You know, this could be what are some of the popular pop singers? Is Britney Spears still doing things? It's been a really long time, darling, since I kept up. But yeah, if you sort of auto-tuned her, although I've heard that they already do that sort of thing with her, so maybe that's not a good example. But there's clearly some very, very brilliant audio engineers at work on this, because this is really just a work of art. I'm very impressed, and it looks from the sidebar that there are many of these. Looks like there's even some male singers here. So clearly there's a whole set of singers that are completely computer generated, and that's sort of spectacular in and of itself, you know. But these people seem to be really enjoying this concert. I mean, I think I would probably be a little caught up too, being able to see something that looks so realistic. I mean, you know, it looks very, very anime style, but the movements are just very real. I'm sure there's a lot of motion capture that goes into it. I'm incredibly impressed, darling. So thank you so much for sending me that prompt. You know, I sort of thought it was just the one person that, well, I suppose person is not the right word, but I thought Miku was the only one. I didn't realize there was a whole sort of set of them out there that were doing this. So Turklarisha, darling, thank you so much for sort of expanding my mind on this. This is really quite an amazing thing, and you know, I see a lot of things for Miku because, you know, being in Hokkaido, we do have the Snow Festival coming up next month, and there's always a really big snow Miku thing that goes on, and, you know, I never really see a lot of people dressed up in cosplay out on the streets, but I always see at least one Miku cosplayer who's not part of the festival, people that just come to the festival dressed in one of the various snow Miku outfits, and you see them there. It's the only time I ever see people in cosplay, just on the streets at least, you know, as opposed to, I suppose, at a convention or photo shoot or something. So I'm I'm not really sure what the Miku phenomenon is, but um, I can see why it's interesting to so many people. So thank you again, darling, for the suggestion, and have a good evening. Ta-ta.